night. We're live. Let's pop on some Doom. So, as you can see, oh, you can, good. There's a little arrow on there. That's because my right analog stick is the cursor, and the left analog stick is, oh wait, no, it's just WASD. W should be down, A. Left is S. Did I do that right? Oh, I'm backwards. D. That's okay. Either way, these act as your left and right analog stick, even though they're not analog sticks. They're 5 points potentiometers, so they act like arcade joysticks, but they work for PUBG Mobile and gzdoom and countless other games. They're actually programmed to work with keyboard and mouse and gyroscope, which is the most important. Let's just jump right into Call of Duty Doom. It's funny because all these games that have that option, the gyroscope aim option, exist even though the game or the gun doesn't exist. You can't buy one of these at Walmart. You can't buy them even on the internet. Well, I take that back. Actually, now somebody officially did come out with one, but you're spending about $140 on it. Maybe it's 170. I can't remember. I want all the guns. D, K, O, F, A. All my buttons are nice and customed. It's 17 buttons in total, I believe, is what you need in order to play a lot of these games. And that's about what it takes to set up like a PS5 controller, or one that has dual analog, and then your L1 R2s. Oh, you sassy boy. Has your L1 R2 and then L3. I feel like I'm gonna lose my phone if I'm not careful. My second mount that I'm holding my other phone on, come on, is actually pretty loose, so I should probably keep it a little more level. I'm not really sure how long I'll be recording for, as I don't really trust my phone mount here. But as you can see, fantastic with the dual analog. You can actually just use the other analog to completely look around, so that helps for adjusting your aim. If you have your gun slightly tilted and you look, you'll see it actually moves the screen up and down, so every once in a while you'll have to readjust. So it's nice having your right analog right there. Oh, where's my buttons? There we go. Oh shit. Click my zoom in on. So, and also, like I'm saying, it's very strange that, oh, you savage, a lot of these apps are made for headsets, gyroscope aim, and then keyboard and mouse aim as well. That way you can basically get that PC experience of a keyboard and mouse, and then the headset aiming ability of wearing the headset on your head. But all in all, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't want to aim the in-gun game using my face, and I also wouldn't want my face having something strapped to it like that at all times. I mean, I know that's a bit of a complaint, but I mean, if you're just jumping right into an immersive game and you say, you just want to start playing, I don't want to strap an Oculus to my face. I've tried one before, and I had issues with the bridge of my nose, and granted, that was years ago, but I got a big nose. I can't just be like strapping something to my face, getting a headache off the dizziness, and it kind of ruining the rest of my day. Well, not the rest of my day, but the whole experience. So if I get home on lunch or something like that, or I have a good 20 minutes, I can just turn this on. There's no calibration whatsoever. It's your phone. Oh. Absolutely no calibration whatsoever because the game is made, and that goes for PUBG and all of them. They're made for. Let's hold that on. Look at this. Look at the. You look at the floor in real life. You look at the floor. This will just show you how one-to-one this is. Isn't this wonderful? Look at the ceiling. I mean, you're looking at the ceiling in the video game. You know. Here, let's put a real door in front of me, as opposed to there, as opposed to the video game door. Isn't that funny? So it'll tell you. You look up at the floor, or look at the ceiling. Look at the floor. Look at that. So these people have done a wonderful job. Bellico Games is their name. They've done a fantastic job at working with their gyroscope and their augmented, their accelerometers. You know what I'm saying. Your gyroscope and your accelerometers that are built in the phone. But oddly enough, for a game from 1996, and they went out of their way to build one of the most accurate games for gyroscope aim, using basically a reworked version of the old 1996 Doom 2 engine. So oddly enough, one of the oldest games ever, well, the oldest FPS games, and most loved, is now one of the most realistic. Oh, simply because of all the work that Bellico Games put in, even though the AR gun, oh my gosh, it doesn't exist. So, I mean, it's the reason why I wanted to buy one. And I was hoping they'd be cheap. And at the time I looked it up, search results 0, and or made for apps that already exist and would only work with the apps that already exist. And I'm sorry, oh shit, that's right. There we go, do you see it? Oh my god. I hope you got a good vision of that. I mean, how silly is that? That like you'd find one of these at Walmart, but it only works for the apps that the company that made the gun made it for. And then sometimes, of course, because it's a cheap Bluetooth Walmart device or something like that, it just doesn't work anyway. So if you were hoping to replace anything, you're not going to be able to, because nothing's universal. Only once did I actually find one at Walmart anyway, or at a local store, and it stopped connecting to my phone. And that's a major thing with Bluetooth too, is that I didn't want to get anything that was Bluetooth. So when I went out looking for it's called the PCB, but it's the computer board that runs the gun itself, the blaster. If you go out looking for a PCB, find one either with a reliable Bluetooth or that you're willing to just chuck if it breaks, because these Bluetooths just don't connect up every time. And you can imagine the frustration of building it and mounting it all in, and then for some reason the cheap Bluetooth just says it's sitting there finding it forever. I mean, and then of course the Bluetooth item itself has to be charged, and the phone has to be charged. So that was a major issue too, is just don't go with a Bluetooth. Go with a physical plug-in, because you'd be surprised, it does not bog down your battery. There's no delay. All the above. You don't charge it and your phone separately. That was like, I dealt with that quite a bit. I'd go to pick up a Bluetooth controller just to play a game, and I'd realize, well, you know, okay, never mind, that's not happening. I got to charge the Bluetooth controller as well. So that was a major part of the decision. Is at first I looked at pre-made PCBs that I just took out of a cheap $12 Bluetooth controller, and I rewired all the buttons to physical buttons, the same type of buttons that I have in this gun. And I started wiring it to 10-point potentiometers, which is the exact same type of joysticks that are in Like your PlayStation 2, you're all the way up the line. It's called a 10-point potentiometer, and it's the joysticks that basically are very sensitive. They have dragging points on an XY scale instead of this. This is just up and down, left, right. It's just direction. Oh my god, am I getting my ass whipped here? Jeez, oh my god, I'm gonna die out here. I'm gonna die. Oh shit. I'm definitely gonna die out here. I just gotta back away. I gotta back away for a second. Rehandle my situation here. Having two phones does not help. Where's it going? Oh yeah, 10-point potentiometers. They work fine with this too. This would pick up just fine, but PUBG Mobile won't, and many of the games won't. So actually, it came down to, oddly enough, brand new games would prefer old technology pre-PlayStation 2 as far as the controller, which is PUBG Mobile. PUBG Mobile that's not made for video game controllers, but it would actually prefer technology made before PlayStation 2 era in order to work with it. And then you don't have to program whatsoever. You just plug it right in, and the buttons auto line right up. Like you don't have to do any sort of programming. It's absolutely bananas. A game that is that popular, but nobody plays it in this manner. So here in a little bit, I'll go over briefly. I might have to detach the phone. I'll go over briefly what the technology inside is, and how. There we go. I'm just getting killed out here. I'm doing terrible. I'm probably gonna die in this hall. Shit. What? What the? I was gonna say there's two of them though, right? Every single dude I've come across has actually shot me, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I've actually gotten like a slick kill in this whole game. Which is, that's quite realistic. I'll be straight up. These guys, oh yeah, there we go, finally. One guy justifiably killed. But yeah, you'll find a game like this was traditionally, they said, when it first came out, it was considered really fast-paced and everything. And it's made for just speed running through, But you can't do it with this. This is much more tactical. I'm willing to bet if I watch this back, I'm just going to be like, man, you're just rambling. But I don't care. I'm having too much fun. Quite frankly, as much as I play this, you could imagine it's just like, finally deciding to show it to the world was a major decision. I thought he was gonna pull a gun and shoot. Sometimes if they live long enough, they'll crawl down a hallway. You blast their legs off. They'll crawl down a hallway and then they'll turn back and shoot at you a little bit if they have a little bit of life. But yeah, either way, coming to the conclusion that I wanted to share this with the world was major for me because I didn't know if I should. But in the end, it's just like, how do I set up production? How do I all the above? And then to find out that officially somebody beat me to the punch and that it didn't take off. Even though, in my opinion, it's a massively... Oh God, just blast that guy up against the wall. It's a massively underlooked, overlooked, whatever you want to say, market of the gaming industry that requires real skill. And not just gaming. I'm saying not just gaming. This is overall aim improvement. This is going to the shooting. There are actual shooting range games on here where they give you moving targets, and you might as well be playing Duck Hunt. It's called Aim Lab, and they'll have you shoot a balloon here, turn this way, shoot a balloon, boom, 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 and they'll have you on like an amazing. Let's click the. I've had a flashlight this whole time. There we go. Let's see the flashlight. There. Okay, flashlight's on. It's really bright in this hallway, so it's hard to tell if the flashlight's on or not. Okay, let's back up. I probably could just chuck a grenade. That didn't work very well. Let's hope that gets him. I didn't bring him up. God, what a fun game. Either way, I believe personally that this would be the best way to train for people who want to be better at marksmanship. Seeing as, you know, it's kind of just on your phone. I mean, it's not like there's a whole world of mobile gamers out there. There are, but I mean, I think it'd be much more widely accepted as a easy way to start training for hunting. You can sell this at the sports. You can sell one of these in the sports section at Walmart. You know, hook your phone up to it. Go to this app. You know, Cabela's Hunt. This would be quite amazing on for a Cabela's hunting style game, which there's a ton on the App Store, but none of them have gyroscope aim. You can imagine how frustrating that shit is. Imagine all those hunting games, all like the point and click sniper games where it's like, oh, zoom in, click here, and none of them have gyroscope aim. If they did, this would be one of the most realistic hunting scenarios you could possibly get. So let's peel off. We don't have to worry about that necessarily anymore. I'll show you the technology here. See, the COM is your ground, and then up, down, left, right, which is WASD. And then these buttons down here, set and reset, don't really mean that. They can be used for whatever you want. So I have previous weapon and next weapons, basically L1 and R1. And then I have all the buttons set up on the side. Here's your zoom in for scope. Oh, and then various ones: grenade, flashlight, crouch, jump, and open door. And then there's your right analog stick right there. So left and right. What else? That basically covers all the functions nearly, other than a plus pad of a PS5 or any of those controllers. I mean, basically that's all the buttons that are on there, including your L3 and your R3. And then anything else you could actually put on the screen itself. So here I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. Got some of my kids' crafts sitting out still. So I started on this one. Same thing, 5-way controller. Same as that one there, just built inside. My L1 and R1 for switching weapons. Oh, a couple buttons mounted up in there, but they ended up being too big. And then there is your, let's see, L2 and R2. So this would be your shoot. So you're actually aiming, boom, 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 or running with this, and then shooting, and then that would be your zoom. So you click zoom, bloop, 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 like that. It works awesome with PUBG. I played PUBG on it mobile the other night. It was an absolute blast. So here is, we'll flip it this way. Starts to look like a game controller, huh? Not amazing? So space and click, up, down, left, right, and then all these cords coming out the back are actually what's running. See all those clips? System madness. And then a bunch of little plugins. All of those are running to the buttons inside. And I did actually have it up inside of there. Let's flip it this way. I had it inside of that cavity to the flamingo at one point, but one of the buttons started to disconnect, and so after I pulled it out, I just decided, I'd need low profile buttons. So I'm just leaving it out. I just don't care because it's for my personal play anyway. But, so there's the flamingo. Yeah, I really do recommend building one. I can put a link to everything in the description. This is a $12 to $13 PCB something computer board. I couldn't tell you. And it comes with a bunch of wires to make it easy for you to connect. It comes with positive and negatives to connect to the buttons. As far as buttons go, you can use anything that's called a momentary push button. And so arcade buttons work. These little automotive buttons work fantastically. They are exactly the same as an arcade button. So theoretically, if you wanted to build a tiny arcade machine, you could actually use one of these 5 ways and a bunch of those. So you don't necessarily have to build an augmented reality gun. You could actually build a tiny arcade machine built around a phone if you wanted to. It should be pretty hot, you know, a little handheld arcade machine. Sort of like those old Galaxian machines. You could actually just build a brand new one around a cheap phone, and that would be pretty amazing, you know. So the projects are pretty infinite. You could let's play Aim Labs. You could build drum machines out of these. You could build keyboards, actual working keyboards, although it'd be easier and more productive to buy a MIDI controller. We're just gonna skip out of Doom. Let's see what else works. For games that don't work, but you want them to work, as long as they have like a gyroscope, but you have trouble with the controls, just go to Octopus. Octopus puts an overmapping, and then that has programmable controller or buttons. So say like you want this button over here, that button right there, to be grenade, you just place a button over the top of it and click it, and then when you go back to the game, you know, it'll be there. Basically, it's a screen overmapping program. And there used to be a lot more, and slowly they've all kind of gotten such terrible ratings and disappeared. So, because they crash the game or they get flagged by the game. Here's a ton of games that all work. Polyfield, Aim Lab, PUBG Mobile, Poly War, Dude Theft War, AR Magic, Black Snow, and AR Warrior S2, whatever. All work with the gun. As well as, I think it's called AR Labs, or AR something. It doesn't matter because it kind of sucks. But we're going to go with Aim Lab. Aim Lab is just a fantastic, universal, anyone can, whatever. Anyone can improve their aim, I guess is what I was going to say with that. No, I don't care. None of this, none at all. Okay, whatever, I might as well. I don't know if you can see the mouse on there. Yeah, you can see the mouse on there. Let's go to training. Let's go with grid shot because I suck. Now let's, yeah, whatever. I probably just need to, so tap anywhere. Come on. Oh shit. I forget my phone is, I'll have to hold the mount to the other one. So we're gonna one hand this. Oh, I should have adjusted the, terrible. I fear losing the phone so bad. Because the phone is tilted, it throws off my gyroscope. So as soon as, come on, there we go. As soon as the phone's slightly tilted, it messes with the gyroscope. So that'll kind of teach you also to hold the gun straight, because as you see, I'm already staring at the ground. Oh, come the fuck up. Boom. Alright. Well, maybe this game needs to be readjusted. I need to mess with the gyroscope, but for the most part, if you don't tilt the gun like so, accuracy 62. Let's do it this way. Because I'm a sore loser. Boom. Do it one-handed. Oh, there's recoil. That's why it's throwing off my... I didn't know that. Oh, you're not even seeing. Of course you can't. Well, I messed that part of the video up. Sorry about that. As you can see, AR aiming. Really fun. And there's countless amounts of games like this. Probably more available through Play Store on higher end devices than I have. My device only now offers so many. That's more than likely because it's a lower end device. I bet more are available. Oh, damn. I wish I would have found out my score on that one. Either way. I'll probably do other videos that are reviews on Doom mods. I'll probably do reviews on, definitely on Dude Theft Wars and PUBG. You're going to see me playing more PUBG for sure. But if you know of any games that work with keyboard, mouse, and gyroscope aim, will work with a lower end device, let's say like S7 or above. That's not what mine is, but comment. But in all actuality, basically, I want to hype this thing, and it'd be cool if it got a lot of hype because it's an underutilized technology, and it makes for a better video game system than, I swear, than a PS5 or any of them, because they just... I mean, I own a PS5 right there. Boom. I own one sitting behind the TV. And I'll play for 20 minutes sometimes. And my thought is, God, I just can't wait to, forget this. I'm picking up the gun. Or I'm picking up the AR blaster. Because it's just so much more immersive. And, when you can, just jump into a poorly graphicked deathmatch game, and it's just all players, or blue side, red side, when you can just jump right into one of those, just the same as playing on a PS5 or on your Xbox or whatever, or on the new Oculus or the Steam, you can jump right into a deathmatch just the same on your phone, and it's more immersive. It doesn't have to be tethered to your television. I mean, the whole idea of the phone was that the mobile phone was that it was no longer tethered to the wall, and yet, we still have video game consoles that are tethered to the television. Well, I can do this anywhere as long as I got Wi-Fi, so I can have this thing sitting in my car and be like, oh, it's my lunch break. I'm gonna run out there. I'll be attached to the work Wi-Fi, or I'll hand it over to a couple friends to play while, because it's not a big deal. It's not. It's like hauling your PS5 everywhere you go. It's that sort of experience. So yeah, hit me up in the comments. Like I said, they don't have to be any particular shape. I started building one out of a flamingo, but you could build one out of a cardboard box. You could completely shape your own blaster out of cardboard if you really wanted to. You could use a milk jug if you really wanted to. Honestly, the idea of gaming on anything that could fit the parts inside of there is kind of exciting. You can imagine the spirit of the adventure of building. There it is. See, the beauty of this one is the PCB is here, and then all the buttons are hidden in this cavity in here. Let's open that up. Look at that. There's all my negatives to the buttons. They're all clipped to one, and then it runs to the PCB. It's kind of weird. Just came with that little window like that for putting darts in, I think. Pretty sure it's where, because it's a dart gun. It's a nerf gun. But yep, the PCB's here, and then all the wiring to the button is there. So there's actually two separate cavities, and that's the beauty of this, is that it was long enough that all the wires are basically just pulled here, connected in, and it'll just fit beautifully in this little thing. With the flamingo or anything like that, if your buttons and your PCB are all in one spot, there's going to be this big bundle of wiring, and then your PCB is underneath it, and then all your buttons are on the other side. and it's doable, but obviously it is a lot, and then it has to be like a larger area too to fit it all in, which I just don't recommend because then you're going to be holding this large, the size of a milk jug, basically, is what it would take to have that many the bundles and everything. If you weren't soldering and you're not a professional. So this is actually really worked out, and it turned out really nice. It has a nice, sleek, professional look because it's an actual product. I mounted everything up real as good as I can, good as I can, you know. And I made mine left-handed. That's the beauty. Is along the adventure I realized that I'm not just making it for anybody. I'm making it for left-handed people, particularly if a right-hander picked it up. The first thing they would think would be, oh, this is left-handed. You know, even though this is left analog stick and that's right analog stick. Um, I guess yeah. Actually, they could be switched around just the same, and then this could be mounted on this side instead of on that side because it's mounted for my left hand. But really, if you were shooting right-handed, you could actually make this the mouse, and that your forward, back, left and right strafe. So in all actuality, it's not that much of a difference. It would actually only take about 20 minutes, and this thing could be completely converted to be a right-handed instead. So just please comment, because I would love to know what you think the next shape should be. As they could be any shape. It could be a milk jug. It could be a cat, a giant plastic penguin. Obviously, I like to keep it cheap. It's always the spirit of adventure as long as it's cheap. It's not an adventure if you just buy your way through. That's stupid. That's stupid. And that's it. Thanks for watching, I guess, leave comments, like, subscribe. Um, if you have other games that you think would work on it, if they're just simple Android, like I said, it's got to be keyboard, mouse, gyroscope, or it has to be gyroscope and it doesn't pick up the Octopus app, the Overmap app. If it red flags that, it'll kick you out, basically. But I know that other people have invented these things too. I found a few other videos of people who have made similar products. So it's kind of wild that there is no there's no wide market for something. This is a massive gap in the gaming world, if you ask me. It's a massive gap. It's a massive oversight. It's a massive oversight that there's no gyroscope overdraw for other apps, because that would actually turn any retro FPS that you could drop a gyroscope overdraw, just like, oh, put the gyroscope here, so everything that you do, moves this zone on the phone only. It's called an overdraw or an overmapping app. And if they just made one overmapping app where you could place where the gyroscope on your screen sits and that it only affects that part, then it would only affect the right analog zone. I read Reddits, and there's countless people who believe the same thing. It's like, yeah, that makes total sense. But that would essentially make it so any retro FPS that had a right analog stick, up, down, left, right, for looking around, would then work with this. And gyroscope aim in general. Like, you could then, it would bring all of them up to that current gyroscope aim technology. But then it would also then make them work with this, which would be awesome. So, yeah, like, comment. If you're into this sort of stuff, definitely start building and send me links to yours. Like I said, I've found other people, so send me links. I really like to see this stuff.